good and awkward too. This is our coping mechanism and goal setting session. Still working on grief following a loved one's death. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Not too bad. It was a beautiful sunny day, so that was really nice.
Oh, that always helps.
Yeah.
Doesn't always feel good to get the sunshine and
yeah.
So what's happened since our last session? Anything new? Anything you've noticed?
Nothing too much. Had a great Thanksgiving last week. My family's not here, and it's too far to go back to Washington for just a couple days, so I had Thanksgiving with my roommate's family, because his parents live here.
Oh, nice.
So it was really nice. Got to see them, and his sister just had a baby, so got some good family time.
Good.
Yeah.
Probably nice to be able to lean on someone else and
definitely
feel good and supportive. And how's work and stress with school? Is that all about the same?
Yeah, all about the same. It was a busy week last week, but I had the long weekend, so I didn't have to work at all, so that was really nice.
Well, always feels good.
Yeah, and closing in on it with school, so trying to get everything done.
And it was just your birthday?
It was, yeah.
Did you have a good time celebrating and get to just kind of roll everything off and
relax? It was actually really nice, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, my roommates made me a nice dinner, and so it was
great. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that rolls into nicely. We are going to set a goal, a treatment goal, and I'd like to do that with you and see what you're thinking, what you would want to work towards, or do you have any ideas of how you want to help yourself with this grief?
I don't know. You know, I think that it's definitely been hard, but as time goes on, it's gotten a little bit easier, I think. But it's just kind of like a balance of it being easier, but not like forgetting, you know? And so if there's anything along those lines, and yeah.
Is there any part of your day or part of your routine that you feel better afterwards? And maybe feel a little less of the thought or a little more concentration?
Definitely after being with people, I think, during being with people.
Yeah.
While I'm with people, I can kind of put that aside and focus on whatever we're doing. But I think that's why homework has been hard, because I can't do it with anybody. So I'm alone and just trying to work through that and focus on the paper I'm writing, but then I keep having these other thoughts too. So.
Okay. I think you're talking a little bit about some self-care, and maybe we should try and put it in your schedule more permanently and make that a goal. Is there a certain amount of days a week you'd like to just stop and set everything down? I think 30 minutes to an hour of whatever you want to do and set it aside is a really great time. Is there a certain number of days per week you think that you should sit down and do that for yourself?
Well, it'd be great if I could do it every day.
Perfect world.
Yeah, I don't know how realistic that is, though. I would say, like, definitely at least one weekend day, like try to have a long one, maybe more than an hour or so on the weekend. And then twice throughout the week might be realistic at this point, to do a half an hour to an hour.
Okay. And what do some of those self-care behaviors look like? Like, what are some of the things you want to keep doing that we can write into here? We talked about the people.
Yeah.
Set time aside to spend with friends.
Yeah.
What about family? Is that an aspect that you feel good using them as support?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they were nearby, I would definitely say, like weekly family dinners or something. But I do talk to my mom quite a bit, and so that is really nice. But yeah, they can't really be part of that process, I guess, because they're not around.
Phone calls are a big thing, though.
Yeah.
Being able to just chat and talk about it. During your phone calls, do you like to talk about your feelings about it? Does it come up? Does the grief come up of your grandfather between you two?
Definitely a bit, because like I said, I think I said this before, that my mom doesn't have the greatest relationship with her mom. And her siblings are spread out all over the country and have different priorities and whatnot. So I think that's hard for her, and so I don't want to like leave her hanging kind of. My dad is amazing though, so he's super helpful, and it has always been there. But so it definitely comes up, I suppose, but not a whole lot, I guess. And that's kind of part of my internal back and forth of should we be talking about it more? Should we not? What's healthy? What's normal? All that.
Yeah, you want to support her without feeling burdened by more. But also, she's your mother, and you guys seem to have a pretty solid relationship in your family. So, definitely. Okay, well, I think that we definitely should say that you will set aside 2 hours a weekend and 2 hours in the week to either spend time with your friends or a phone call with your family, and use that as some time that's your time to be with your people, and you don't feel guilty, and you don't have to worry about your thoughts, and just get to explore a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'd like to set 2, if you're good with that.
Yeah.
I think that it could be really helpful to identify when these emotions happen, just for you to stop and identify that they're happening and that they're there, and validate your feelings behind them, because there's nothing wrong with that. So have you worked on any of that before in other therapy or counseling?
Not particularly.
Okay. No. I think that it'd be a thing that it'd be whenever it came up, so it'd be like as needed. Obviously, you're not going to have all of these thoughts constantly,
right?
But when they do come up, it's good to identify them and realize that they're there. So it's going to be more of an as needed, but still we can count on it and see if it's starting to lessen, or we can see how you feel about it. I have a really silly way of doing it. You might like it. I like to think of it as clouds. So if you are really just doing homework, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, like I wish I could just call him. You can just see it as a cloud and see it there, and it's in your head, and it just needs to just be identified, and then it's gone. And so you can just realize it and sit with it and process. How does that sound?
That sounds okay. How long should I let it sit there though before I let it go away?
That's kind of up to you. However it feels comfortable. I would say maybe 15 to 30 seconds, and we don't want it to interfere with your day.
Right.
But we also want to give it the time that it deserves to be in your head and identify it and know that it's there, but to move back onto your task. So whatever you feel comfortable with. Obviously, as we keep going, you could either shorten the time or lengthen the time. Whatever works for you. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it after you've tried it for a week or 2 and see, because then we can always mold it and shape it to whatever works. Is there anything else you're struggling with that you might want a coping mechanism for, or?
Not particularly. I'm excited to try that one with the clouds, specifically while I'm doing homework, because that's, like I said, I'm alone and it's generally quiet, and so my mind can run off in the different directions. So, I'm excited to give that a try, and set aside some time where not feeling guilty too, that I should be doing something else, I should be doing homework, I should be doing whatever. So, really trying to set aside some time that's intentional to be with people. So
good. Yeah. Well, before we move on, I just want to know if there's anything that you're worried or anxious about in the next 2 weeks that you think might come up.
No, not particularly. Yeah. Just as long as I can get everything done for finals.
Isn't that always fun?
Yeah.
Well, perfect. And I think we got some good goals down, and we'll check on them and keep moving them to however you need and whatever works for you. And we'll talk more soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.